And hello guys, this is a new video and of course it's been today, it's probably since my last video, and today I've decided to just record because I'm on time, and continuing with the previous video in which we solved the problem 1 from this exam in the mathematic olympiad in Zacatecas, and this exam was provided by the University of Zacatecas by the Department of Mathematics. And as I said previously, this exam is supposed to qualify the math problem solving skills that a student in the elementary school had developed. And the topics that are commonly used or related in the Math Olympiad, at least here in Mexico, are three topics, which are combinatorics, geometry, and number theory, usually, and in some cases they could add some extra problems which involves inequalities, for example calculus and stuff like that. Okay, a sequence also. And of course, in this case the problem 2 says that Alberto, Braulio, Carlos, y Daniel and Eduardo, they are supposed to sit down in a file, and there is just one condition, and it is that Braulio wants to sit down next to Alberto and Carlos. And the problem asks us how many ways or how many arrangement of files there are meeting this condition. Okay, the problem is quite easy because since Braulio wants to sit down with Alberto and Carlos, just it is enough to determine the number in ways in which Braulio sit down with Alberto and Carlos. And remembering from our notation, let's call, or let's denote by A Albert, and let's call B Braulio, C Carlos, D Daniel, and E Eduardo. So with those names, then just we need to know that condition, which is basically Braulio, which is the letter B, wants to sit down with Alberto and Carlos. So there is two possible arrangements in this way, which are those two. The first one, in which Braulio is in the middle and he wants to sit down at the side with Alberto and Carlos, just next to it. And the second arrange possible is when Carlos is at the right side and Albert is in the left side of Braulio. So both are the two possible options of rearrange Alberto, Braulio, and Carlos with the condition satisfied. And why it is not possible to have Braulio, for example, and in the left side of one of Alberto and Carlos? It is because the arrange B A C will this array won't be valid because Braulio is not sit down at one of the right side of left side of Alberto and Carlos. So this array is not possible, and two, we just have two possible rearrangement of Alberto, Braulio, and Carlos given these conditions. Okay, and now the next step is just remember, we just want to take one triplet, which could be this one, okay, this triplet, or the second one, okay, because both ways are possible in the. And once that triplet have been elected, then we just want to order the positions of Daniel and Eduardo. And there are just two possible rearrangement of Daniel and Eduardo, because we can have in the right order, like Daniel sits down first and then Eduardo, or Eduardo sits down first and then Daniel. So there are the two possible ways in which both Eduardo and Daniel can sit down in the file. Okay, so once both things had been decided, then we have the three places, okay, which is like our first block, which contained the arrangement ABC or CBA, okay, which have block 1, and the next two blocks, which are Daniel or Eduardo, okay, where both sits down. But there are three possible ways, because I can move the block, for example, I can move this block, move the block into here, and then put down Daniel and Eduardo in that position, and so on. Also, I can just maintain Daniel and Eduardo and then the block. Okay, so how many ways we can reorder three blocks of things? And of course it could be done of 3 factorial ways, okay? So twos, we can reorder those 3 blocks of 3 factorial ways, but there are also 2 possible options in the rearrangement, because we can already interchange one block or the second one, okay? So we have 2 different choices for the block and 3 factorial ways to move out the blocks and the Daniel and Eduardo positions. Twos, there are just 3 factorial times 2, which is equal to 12 different ways in which Braulio can sit down at the next of Alberto or Carlos, okay? And this is the answer to this problem, which is too short, and that's a good answer, I think. And with this video we ended up answering the problem 1 in the previous video and the problem 2 in this video. And in the next video I am supposed to solve the problem 3, which is a really funny problem. And again, I'm sorry for this format. I know it is not the best, but I just wanted to share with y'all this knowledge. And if you have solved one of those problems in different ways, please just write down your solution in the box comment below, or if you want it, or if you prefer it, you can send an email to this address, and I'll take the time to read your solution and discuss about it. And if the solution is the good enough, I probably make another video explaining this new approach to solve this problem, and of course giving the credits to the author. So just if you are interested, just write or send me an email to this direction. Okay. in which I'll be happy to write down your solutions or comments about my videos. So I see you guys next, and have a good uh, Wednesday. And don't forget, enjoy doing mathematics. Mathematics shouldn't be painful. They must be funny and, of course, entertaining.